Good afternoon, fastball fans, and welcome back to Championship Saturday on the ISC Network. It's the 75th ISC World Tournament. Blair Setford with you. This is the losers bracket semifinal. The winner of this will get to play for the World Championship. On the field, it is the home team, the Hill United Chiefs. Pablo Migliavaca, your starter for the Chiefs this afternoon. He will be facing the Kitchener, Ontario Hallman Twins. Teo Migliavaca will lead off for the Twins. He'll be followed by Cam Schiller. Thomas Anoka having a great tournament at the top of the batting charts. Can he stay there over the course of the day and win an ISC leading hitter award? Riley Macchia in the 4 spot. Ryan Boland catching. Mariano Montero in left. Ernesto Sanchez playing third base. A bit of a lineup change here in the 8 spot. Gonzalo Masmu goes into the designated player position. Jonathan Lynch at first base in the 9 spot. Pitching and not hitting tonight, Huemo Mata. We'll set the Chiefs defense for you, left to right. Colin Walsh, Brad Ezekiel, Nico Carrillo, and then around the horn, Jason Hill at third. Shane Boland is at shortstop. Tony Gonzalez at second base. Steve Mullally at first, and Pablo Migliavaca, of course, pitching to Bruno Matroni. Brett Larson, the designated player tonight for the Chiefs. So Migliavaca out to the board. And Migliavaca in the box. Chiefs in their broadcasting friendly blue pinstripes. To Hopper to Shane Boland, up and over to first for first out of the inning. 6-3 for those of you inclined to keep score at home. Cam Schiller, the shortstop, will step in. Schiller, a home run late in the winner's bracket final last night to make it close with the New York Gremlins hanging on for the win over the Hallman Twins. Downstairs. If you're just getting in with us here on the ISC Network, Blair Setford, working with my good friend Luciano Lafranco, bringing us all of the pictures and the Spanish commentary. When we go. So Migliavaca on the board, Schiller at the plate. No, says our third base umpire, Kevin Wallace. Our umpires tonight on the plate, it's Randy McLam. First base is Glenn Brown, and the aforementioned Kevin Wallace out at third. Pitch misses downstairs. Migliavaca looks for a reset on the signs. And that misses upstairs. So a one-out walk to Cam Schiller, and that will bring up Thomas Anoka. Thomas comes hitting over 560. And included in that is, in his week at least, is 5 walks. So a real good eye at the plate for Inoka. Migliavacca will hook in. Bat held high by Anoka and pours in a strike. Bruno Matroni will come out to have a talk with, I was going to say young Migliavacca. That's probably showing my age. Pablo been on the circuit now for close to 10 years. Two strikes on Anoka. Called. Strike three. Boy, Thomas Anoka didn't get the bat off the shoulder. Riley Macchia will come to the plate for the Hallman Twins in that 4 spot all week long. Very little deviation in the Twins lineup. That's a good drop ball there from Pablo. And misses downstairs. Schiller hasn't really shown much jump off of first. He's got pretty good wheels. Bruno Matroni behind the plate has more than a pretty good arm. Chopper on the infield to Boland. He'll go the easy way and step on second base. So the walk to Schiller is stranded. Hallman Twins, nothing across in the first. We'll go to the bottom half. Hill United Chiefs coming to the plate. Set for the bottom of the first inning for the Hill United Chiefs. Shane Boland will lead things off, leading the tournament in RBIs and right up there in batting average as well. Nico Carrillo, Brad Ezekiel tied with Shane Boland for the lead in home runs. Bruno Matroni, Steve Mullally. Steve Mullally's actually in that mix. Jason Hill, Tony Gonzalez, Colin Walsh, and in the 9 spot, Brett Larson, the designated player. For the Twins on defense, Mariano Montero in left, Teo Migliavacca in center, Riley Macchia out here in front of us in right field. Around the horn, Ernesto Sanchez, Cam Schiller, Thomas Anoka, and Jonathan Lynch at first. And Huemo Mata, who's done just about all the pitching short of 1 inning for the Hallman Twins this week on the board, working to battery mate Ryan Boland. Upstairs to Shane Boland. What was a very overcast day has turned into a brilliant afternoon. And this one up and in and hits Boland. He is going to shake out that fistful of bumblebees that he's got in that right hand right now. That got him right on the bottom. Boland in some considerable discomfort making his way down to first base. Hasn't got there yet. That's the throwing hand, too, for Boland, and that might impact things later on if he can't go at short. Jane's a tough guy with that hockey player mentality, but he is going to be feeling that one for a little bit. Wemomata throws the ball an average around 78, 80 miles an hour, so you can imagine getting hit with something as hard as what's called a softball and how that would feel. Carril squares to bunt. Jeff Ellsworth playing it by the book up front. Bunt attempt, but that is caught by Mata, and that's always the danger. If you don't bunt much during the season, and for the Chiefs, it's only been a 3-week season. Carril pops up to the pitcher. Brad Ezekiel will step in. Bradley with a couple of home runs, but most impressively this week, that catch that everybody's still around the park here talking about, this one fouled out of play. It was overcast this morning. We actually had a little tiny sprinkle of rain, just enough to not even wet the grass or wet down the diamond. The sun has burned through those clouds, and it is a brilliant high sky this afternoon. Just a few fluffy white clouds out there that are left. A called strike on the inside corner. Good pitch there from Wemomata. Ezekiel with that not quite unique, but exaggerated batting stance. And downstairs. As we've talked about a few times on the broadcast here this week, the hands up over the head. Started when he was young, and he had a coach that just said, if it makes you comfortable, go for it. He wouldn't teach it to anybody necessarily. That pitch down and in to Brad Ezekiel. Ryan Boland's going to just ask Randy McLam how close that pitch was. And swing and a miss. Bradley Ezekiel down on strikes. Don't often get to say that. Bradley Ezekiel down on strikes. Bruno Matroni. The third leading hitter in the tournament to date, coming into play today. Swing and a miss. 3 for 3, 3 RBI singles last night. Set the tone for Hill United right away. Scoring early against the Fargo Kegel Black Knights in that losers bracket semifinal, the fourth place game. Picked up nicely over there by Ernesto Sanchez, and that will be the inning. So each team gets a base runner. Each team strands a base runner in the first, feeling each other out. We'll go to the top of the second, scoreless. Stay with us. Pablo Migliavaca back out for his second inning of work as we move to the top of the second inning. Be Ryan Boland, Mariano Montero, Ernesto Sanchez. Boland has hit the ball hard most of the week, but not a lot to show for it. Had a few RBIs here and there. Migliavaca, a good changeup, and gets a called strike at the bottom of the zone. Migliavaca has got a very good changeup. Works that in along with the drop and the rise ball, and he's got the three pitches that he needs to be successful. And there pours in the drop for a strike. So Migliavaca works and swing and a miss. Down goes Ryan Boland. A good job there by Migliavaca and Matroni to keep the ball down. Don't give Boland anything that he can get the barrel of the bat through. Mariano Montero will step in. A line drive home run that at the time put the Twins ahead in the game last night against the Gremlins. This one low for ball one. The flags on the flagstaff tell me that the wind here continues to swirl. It's blowing right to left from our location, which is out beyond the right field fence. So essentially that means it's blowing in from left field. Hot shot snagged by Boland from his knees. Throws out Mariano Montero. Flashing the leather, Shane Boland. Exceptional defense over there by the shortstop. Mariano Montero will get back to the dugout. He's going to want to talk to the Eldridge police. He just got robbed. Sanchez, the Mexican national, newcomer to the Twins. Did a lot of catching for the club through their tournament season. Ryan Boland joined the team in Oklahoma City for the U.S. National Tournament. Called strike. For the Chiefs this week, it's been pitching by committee. Migliavaca became the starter. And they've gone Migliavaca with Burns and then Devin McCullough, if necessary, for the close. What pitches? Just off the plate. 2-2. 2 down in the inning. So long look for Migliavaca, now sets. And just misses. Bruno Matroni ready to call that a strike three and head back to the dugout. But Randy McLam says, nope, not yet. So here's Migliavaca. And swing and a miss. That'll be strike three. We'll go to bottom of the second. Hill United Chiefs coming to the plate. On behalf of the Hill United Chiefs, want to give a shout to Tim and Cindy Toda from Todax Farms in Beaufort, Ontario, here with the team and had an appendicitis attack, I believe it was, and not going to be able to get back home right away. So our best wishes to Tim Toda, one of the sponsors of the Hill United Chiefs, and certainly we send our best wishes out to you for a speedy recovery. Steve Mullally, Jason Hill, Tony Gonzalez. Gonzalez moving up one in the order, flipping with Colin Walsh. Big cut there at the rise ball. Mullally underneath that one. Mullally has kind of come on as the rest felt he was struggling a little earlier. Here's a shot out. That's going to get into for a single. Riley Macchia will come across and get that back into the infield. But Mullally aboard a lead-off single here in the bottom of the second inning. Jason Hill had one of the stranger moments of the tournament much earlier in the week. Looked like he had hit a line drive home run. His bat waggle immediately prior to the pitch, he had clipped the catcher's glove, turns and squares, and that's bunted foul. And again, Jeff Ellsworth playing it straight up by the book. Hill had clipped the catcher's glove. It was noticed by the home plate umpire, who called time, but the pitch was already on its way, and Jason Hill hit it out of the park, except time was called. Chopper on the infield. Schiller will go to the bag for one, and out at two. So, call it two. 6-3. And wasn't sure that Schiller was going to get to the bag there before the charging slide by Mullally. But a double play nonetheless, and a good one by the Twins shortstop. So at the base is empty, Tony Gonzalez will step up to the plate. This one is lifted up to deep right and gone. That one going over the fence just to the right of our broadcast position here. And we'll go pick this one up and get it back into the ball game as Tony Gonzalez makes his way around the bases. So a two-out home run for Tony Gonzalez to right field. Hill United Chiefs now the 1-0 lead, and Colin Walsh to the plate. Swing and a miss there by Walsh. And that pitch misses downstairs. So 1-1 to Walsh, the newly married Walsh. There's a chopper just foul. So Mata on the board, set to go. Walsh back into the box. And coming across, Sanchez will make that play. But the solo home run by Tony Gonzalez gives the Hill United Chiefs a 1-0 lead through two. Hallman Twins coming to the plate. Top of the third for the Hallman Twins coming to the plate. Hope you had the chance to view all of the sponsors' ads on Facebook. We do want to thank Mr. Ned Varmatosian, Peligro Sports here at Gremlins, along with Les Novak of the ISC for their direct financial sponsorship of the streaming program here this week, making it happen kind of last minute, to be really honest. Luciano Lafranco, my partner, my new friend, helping to get him here. They met up at the Peligro tournament in New York mid-July, again in St. Paul at the Tin Cup tournament, and here we are as we put this program together. Hope you enjoyed a fantastic week of Fastpitch Softball, the ISC World Tournament, our 75th anniversary from Eldridge, Iowa. It's been our pleasure to bring it to you, and thank you for joining us over the course of the week. This is our second last game, the losers bracket final. The winner will go on to play for the championship. The loser will finish third. Hard hit ball right back up the middle. Gonzalo Masmu, the designated player, and that move pays dividends right away for Steve Kuzer, Ron Hackett, the brain trust on the Hallman Twins squad, as Wemo Mata had a home run earlier in the week, but had struggled last night 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. And with him just concentrate on the pitching, Masmu can worry about the hitting. Jonathan Lynch will step in. He had a line drive home run last night as well. There's a bunt, and picked up by Hill at third, and he throws out Jonathan Lynch. Lynch, with a little bit of an extra push, almost put that ball right into Hill's pocket. Maybe needed to just to deaden it a little bit more. But a sacrifice nonetheless, and that moves Masmu up to second base. So both clubs electing to play it straight up by the book early. And we'll go back to the top of the shop. Teo Migliavaca for the Hallman Twins. Bruno Matroni will come out for a chat with Masmu on second. Make sure that everybody is on the same page for the signs. Devin McCullough is up earlier than normal, throwing for the Hill United Chiefs. The pattern of late, at least the last couple of games, has been Migliavaca to start, Burns in the middle, and McCullough to close. That pitch just misses off the corner. And a changeup, that one just misses downstairs, so falling behind. And a good count here for Teo Migliavaca, the batter, not Pablo Migliavaca, the pitcher. Long look in for Migliavaca. And there's a called strike right at the bottom of the zone. Lifted up. Center field, Bradley Ezekiel will back to track and tag. Here's the throw and sliding in safely. Gonzalo Masmu. Two down for Cam Schiller as he'll come to the plate. Schiller walked in the first. He's run into a couple this week and deposited some K-Masters over the fence. That pitch just down and outside. Schiller comes to the game from baseball. And this one hard hit right over the head of Jason Hill. And we got ourselves a tie ball game. Schiller is going to go on up to second as that ball rattles around in the corner. The throw comes into nobody in particular. And Schiller will just stay at second base, content with an RBI double. Gonzalo Masmu, that single sacrificed up into scoring position by Jonathan Lynch, and the double by Schiller brings him in. Good clutch hitting by Cam Schiller. He talked on the Outside the Shoot podcast about his adjustments to the rise ball and how he had to learn how to swing over the ball to start to learn to hit the rise ball. Well, he's learned how to do it well enough. Thomas Anoka down looking in his first trip. And this one into Jason Hill, but that is foul. Hill's been pretty busy over there with a couple of ground balls, and a hot shot by Schiller buzzed the tower. Migliavacca sets on the board. And this one misses down and out. Schiller out at second base. 2 down here in the inning. And that one is right back up through the middle by Anoka. Getting the wave is Schiller. Here's the throw. The plate and safe. Cam Schiller and the Hallman Twins will take the lead. Thomas Anoka, a multi-hopper back up the middle. And that was just enough time for Cam Schiller to come around and score. So the Twins now with a 2-1 lead, and Riley Macchia come to the plate, and that's going to be it for Pablo Migliavacca. Devin McCullough makes the walk in from the bullpen. So McCullough, who has been effective at times, but also has struggled at times to find the strike zone, will be pressed into duty early here tonight. Migliavacca goes 2 2/3. Just 12 batters faced. I think I can safely say that with the offensive prowess of these two teams, it's quite unlikely that a 2-1 score is going to last for the duration of the game. McCullough throws very hard, real good rise ball, world-class changeup. And when he's dialed in, when he can find the strike zone, that changeup is his best friend and his best pitch. Because that's always in the back of the batter's mind. And that's a good start for McCullough as he gets a strike at the bottom of the zone. If he can work down low and consistently get strikes, then doesn't have to bring that rise ball up too much. And that'll be a real good telltale for him if he can get that pitch working. That one just misses upstairs. Macchia currently on the outs with the New Zealand Black Sox national team. Got to think that they'll be giving him every opportunity to make the squad between now and November. Jerome Remeke in a similar situation, the Gremlins third baseman. And with the week that he's had, got to be thinking that he's forcing his way back into that lineup. This pitch misses downstairs. And Ball 4, Riley Macchia earns the walk. And now 2 aboard for Ryan Boland. Boland's got all the necessary power to change the score in a hurry. Sometimes I think Ryan presses a little bit too much at the plate. Just let it come naturally. So McCullough set on the board. And this one, Hilly, Jason Hill. Everybody was yelling, Hilly, 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 as that little foul ball falls in front of the diving Hill, right in front of the Hill United dugout. I'm sure somebody wanted to reach out through the fence and give him a hand, but just out of range. Break for Ryan Boland. And swing and a miss there, upstairs. Just chasing up and out of the zone. McCullough up in the count, 0-2. Pair of runners here. The Twins would love to extend this 2-1 lead that they've got going. And swing and a miss. Down goes Boland. McCullough comes in, does the job, walks Riley Macchia, but gets Ryan Boland swinging. We'll go to the home half of the third. Twins now out in front, 2-1. There you see the drone shot of the main diamond here. That is right in the middle of the Sheridan Meadows complex here in Eldridge, Iowa. It's 3 diamonds back to back to back, essentially. And it's been a great week here in small town Iowa. The corn is just off to the first base side of the 3rd diamond, our own little field of dreams here in the middle of small town America. Brett Larson will lead things off for Hill United. Bottom of the 3rd inning, trailing 2-1 to the Hallman Twins. And first pitch swinging, line shot right into the glove of Cam Schiller. These two teams have met in each of the last 2 world tournaments. The Twins have prevailed both times, knocking out Hill. There's a good changeup from Waymo Mata, called a strike. In 2018, it was in the 4th place game up in Kitchener, and 4-2 winners for the Twins. That was with Sean Cleary pitching. 2019, also with Sean. And a 4-0 win at Circle Tap. And this one is lifted straight up in the air by Shane Boland. Jonathan Lynch will come in to make that catch. Nico Carril will step in, and very quickly, 2 down for Huemo Mata. His defense will be thrilled if he continues to work this efficiently. Pitch just misses upstairs. But it's a different look for these teams here in 2021. Of course, we've had a global pandemic. We've had lineup changes. We've had players who, through no fault of their own, are unable to get to the ISC World Tournament this year. So it's a different look, not only for the Hill United Chiefs, who have made several adjustments just to have a team here, and certainly give all the credit in the world to the Hill family and their supporters for getting the Chiefs here. Nico Carril laces this one out to Ohsweken center for a 2-out base hit. Colin Walsh, Brett Larson, Quentin Bruce, Jeff Lyons, Isaac Lefebvre, Avery Arsenal, all late additions to this Hill United team to make sure that they had a lineup to be able to come to the ISC World Tournament. Pat Burns was going to be added to this team no matter what. He was headed this way after the 2019 season, was my understanding. Chopper on the infield. Mata spears that off the bat of Bradley Ezekiel. So the 2-out hit stranded. And Huemo Mata looking pretty good so far. The only blemish, that home run by Tony Gonzalez. Stay with us on the ISC Network. We're going to go to the top of the 4th. Mariano Montero leading things off for Hallman Twins here. Top of the 4th. Montero had that hot shot to Shane Bolin his last trip. Bolin showing why, in all likelihood, he'll be the starting short for Team Canada as the World Cup looms November of 2022 in Auckland in New Zealand. This one is lifted up to left. Walsh will settle under that for first out of the inning. Ernesto Sanchez will step in. We talked about some of the lineup changes for Hill United that they had to make to get here. The biggest one probably is on the mound, as Devin McCullough was a real late addition to come to the ISC World Tournament. Adam Folkert not here due to travel restrictions in Australia. Nick Shales not here due to the Canadian government travel restrictions regarding non-citizens. And this one is laced out to center. Ezekiel with the throw in and safe at second base. Good wheels there shown by Ernesto Sanchez. Ezekiel had to go get that ball in the gap. The grass is medium long here at the Sheridan Meadows complex, and the ball certainly slows when it gets out onto that grass, just enough for Ernesto Sanchez with the head first slide to get into second base. Gonzalo Masmu, he singled and then come around to score the first run for the Twins. And McCullough pours in a strike. In for strike two, and Pat Burns now up and throwing in the Hill United bullpen. On the Twins side of the ledger, the biggest change they made was in the pitching circle. Sean Cleary, their ace in 18 and 19. Upstairs and away from Gonzalo Masmu. The election to bring in Huemo Mata, originally as a designated player. He was going to come in and hit and not pitch, and the Twins continued to think about that move and ultimately decided that they were going to go with Mata and gave the opportunity for Sean Cleary to find another team. This one off the glove of Motroni up into the backstop, and there's a free base for Sanchez. The Motroni will want to come out and talk to the Canadian right-hander. You could ill afford to give up a free run here on a pass ball or a wild pitch. You don't need to give up any free runs at any time, especially on Championship Saturday in the ISC World Tournament. Upstairs, up and in to Gonzalo Masmu. The Twins bench, 12 strong. That's it. It's a small lineup for the Hallman Twins here this week. And this one was chopped foul. But this has been an important change in the lineup that Steve Kuzer and Ron Hackett have made. Huemo Mata has been in this spot all week, as we talked about, and really struggled last night in the winner's bracket final. 3 strikeouts. And I'm quite sure that that's what's prompted the change to Masmu. Swing and a miss. Down goes Gonzalo Masmu. Big out there for Devin McCullough. A good battle with Gonzalo Masmu and ultimately prevailing. Nothing more than soft toss right now for Pat Burns. Jonathan Lynch, sacrifice bunt in his first appearance, and kind of a half-hearted wave at that first pitch. Now Lynch is set. That real closed stance in that left side pitch. One ball, one strike, 2 down here, top of the 4th inning. Lynch right over the top of that. 1-2. McCullough looking to close the door and keep it closed here in the fourth. Swing and a miss. I thought they had Jonathan Lynch previously at 1-2, but maybe not. And that pitch misses outside, so that should run the count to 3-2. Change up, and that is pulled down the line and being called fair by our home plate umpire, Randy McLam. Lynch suggesting that Mullally was standing on the bag and reached over for it, but Randy McLam's got a pretty good view of that from home plate. So that'll be the inning for the Hallman Twins. We're going to go to the bottom of the fourth coming up on ISC. Bruno Matroni, catcher for Hill United Chiefs, to clean up batter. And this one is lifted out to center. Migliavacca to the fence and catches it crashing through. Migliavacca robs Bruno Matroni at the fence. The breakaway fence, he got to it, put the hand on it, jumped, and then fell back through it. Outstanding catch by Teo Migliavacca. One of the great things about the breakaway fences is the ability of the players to crash right through them. Don't know if Teo Migliavacca would be able to make that kind of catch up against a permanent fence. You'd have the opportunity to jump up to it, but certainly not jump through it. Big cut by Mullally, chases that rise ball up and out of the zone. And this one is lifted up short. Migliavacca calling for it, and he's going to drift over a little bit and make that catch in center right. So a pair of fly balls to center field. And just that quick 2 down here in the bottom of the fourth inning for the Hill United Chiefs. Jason Hill will come to the plate. Jason grounded into that 6-3 double play. Cam Schiller doing it by himself. Pitch misses downstairs from Mata. And this one is laced right our way, right off the fence in the air. Throw into Anoka, sliding into second base unnecessarily. Jason Hill with a double. Right off the base of the fence, Jason Hill, a line shot. And he'll be aboard for Tony Gonzalez. Gonzalez, a home run in the second inning. That's the Hill United run that's on the board. Threatening again right now with Hill in scoring position. The change-up from Mata misses low. Daniel Chapman will emerge from the Hallman Twins dugout. We last saw Chapman in game action all the way back on Sunday in the Twins opener. Called strike to Gonzalez. This is the earliest I've seen Chapman get up in a game. He's been up in a couple of them, but this is the earliest. It's second time through the order, and it's tough. These players are the best in the world. They make adjustments in turn. You've got to change things up. That pitch misses down low. And, of course, everybody sees each other just about every weekend on the tournament circuit. So there's nothing that they haven't seen from Huemo Mata that they haven't seen several times before. Gonzalez fouls this one out of play. One hop and ball four. So Tony Gonzalez gets the free pass. Now, Colin Walsh has struggled here this week. I think he will be the first one to admit it. Bumped down a spot in the order from 7 to 8. And had a notion to go. They're going to ask, and no. That's Glenn Brown, first base umpire. Chopper gets this one through down to the corner, and Colin Walsh comes through. Talked about him struggling, but comes through there. Good job by Colin Walsh to cash in a run and tie the game. Walsh, a core member of the Canadian national team that's already been named. He dominated the St. John's League, the best league in Canada last year, the playoff MVP, and certainly has earned every opportunity and taking advantage of it here. Good for Colin Walsh. So Brett Larson. And this one gets away from Ryan Boland, and Hill United Chiefs take advantage of that wild pitch. Walsh is up to third, and Larson, who's done well since they dropped him into that DP spot a couple of nights ago, has hit the ball well. Has collected 3 hits and had a smash shot out to Cam Schiller in his first trip, and an opportunity to now extend the lead for the Chiefs as this one dribbles in from Huemo Mata. called a strike there at the bottom of the zone. And pours in a strike, 3-2. And full count on Brett Larson. Colin Walsh out at third. The Chiefs have already plated 2 this inning. And ball 4. Boland with a look back. And Daniel Chapman throwing a little bit harder down the bullpen now, off to our left on the right field side. The meeting by Steve Kuzer breaks up. He'll make his way back to the dugout. And Shane Boland, an opportunity for another RBI, maybe 2, maybe more. And a called strike on the inside corner. There was a Boland who was happy with that. It wasn't the one in the box, it was the one behind the plate. Brothers. And that one upstairs. Shane was hit on the bottom of the right hand back in the first inning. This one, well hit. Back to the fence. And making the catch in front of Teo Migliavaca is the left fielder. Mariano Montero comes across and makes the catch right in front of Migliavaca. A little bit of miscommunication, but they get out of that jam and minimize the damage, but they lose the lead. Hill United back out in front, 3-2. So these two teams trading the lead back and forth. It's the Chiefs' turn right now, out in front, 3-2. Top of the fifth, Teo Migliavaca. Top of the order. Called strike. Shadows in the home plate area right now, but haven't quite made their way all the way out to the pitching board just yet. By the time Devin McCullough jumps off that board, he'll be into that shadow zone, so no real transition to worry about for the batters. The rest of the infield still bathed in sunlight, as is the outfield, and it'll be like this for quite a while still. It is just past 6:45 here in Iowa, Central Time. Bruno Matroni trying to entice Randy McLam into a call there, but McLam not having any of that. Swing and a miss. Down goes Teo Migliavaca. Cam Schiller to the plate with one down, a walk and a double. And there's the changeup from McCullough. First pitch swinging. And just outside from McCullough. It's a 1-1 to Cam Schiller. And chases a drop ball downstairs. Cam Schiller falling behind 1-2. Just off the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chopper on the infield. Gonzalez will range over to his right. Made the cross-body throw for the second out of the inning. Thomas Anoka caught looking in the first, and then an RBI single in his last plate appearance. That one a bit of a seeing eye single up the middle. And was just enough to score Gonzalo Masmu. McCullough set to work. And just off the outside corner. Anoka, very good eye at the plate. We talked about that. 5 walks through the course of the tournament. And that one picked up by Bolin. Long throw, and he gets Thomas Anoka. A 1-2-3 inning for Devin McCullough and the Hill United Chiefs. In honor of my friend Lance Wynn, we'll continue our slide to 5 in the bottom half coming up. Nico Carrillo leading things off for Hill United here at the bottom of the fifth. Waimamata facing everybody in this Hill United Chiefs lineup now for a third time. And everybody's had a good look at Waimamata. And first pitch swinging. Carrillo fouls this off. Ryan Boland is out to the mound, gets some rosin. Something I've never seen before in a ballgame. The catcher come out to the mound, didn't say a word to Waimamata that I could tell. Just come out to get some rosin. Well, you being around this game long enough, you will see everything. And this one lifted out, and Migliavaca can't catch up to that. Carrillo will stop at second. Over the head of Migliavaca and off the fence. Carrillo with a hard hit double. And he's 2 for 3. Bradley Ezekiel will come to the plate. 0 for 2. Waimamata with a nice defensive play in Bradley's last at bat. This one pulled foul down the line, and it's a good thing there's a double-layer chain-link fence. That would have sent a whole bunch of people in the stands over there scattering like 10 pins. Bobbled. Schiller can't come up with it. And a rare error by Cam Schiller is going to put runners on the corners here as Bradley Ezekiel aboard for the first time tonight. Bruno Matroni with an opportunity to add to his RBI total and pad the lead for the Hill United Chiefs. And that's past and diving Schiller. He slowed it down. Bradley Ezekiel is going to go coast to coast, sliding into second, and out is Bruno Matroni as the throw comes in from left field. Mariano Montero alertly with the throw back into second base to Thomas Anoka. And they got Bruno Matroni trying to stretch that. So a big out on the back end of that play, but an RBI for Matroni, and it's 4-2 for the Chiefs. And Schiller over to first, and the throw is errant, and it's in and out of the glove of Jonathan Walsh. And that's a throwing error. Now they are calling him safe, as John Hill was about to come over and have an argument with Glenn Brown, but clearly drop ball over there as Lynch pulled off the bag right into the path of the runner, and in the semi-collision, drops the ball. So Isaac Lefebvre will come in to run. So Mullally gets aboard on the error. And then Lefebvre to run. Just the one out. Hill United extending their lead 5-2, and some defensive miscues costing the Twins here dearly. Jason Hill at the plate, that hard hit double his last trip right off the base of the fence. Lefebvre is a speedster out at first. And this one well hit. Montero can't catch up to that. It is off the wall and under the wall. So that's going to be a ground rule double. And Lefebvre would have scored easily on that. He'll have to come back to third. But Hill United here hitting the ball hard off of Huemo Mata. Pair of doubles for Jason Hill tonight. And that will be it for Huemo Mata. Mata gives up 5, but he's got 2 more runners that are his responsibility out on base. So Chapman will get an opportunity to try and shut the door. Daniel Chapman from New Zealand, the presumptive ace of the New Zealand Black Sox at this point. When he came into the game last Sunday, it feels like last week, I thought his motion looked a lot different. He was trying to do more of the hop than what I've seen to recall him doing. And you watch his motion there, if you can see them through the crowd, he really kind of doesn't quite drag the pivot foot, but he doesn't really get airborne like Mata and some of the others, especially McCullough. Reminds me a lot of the motion that Jeremy Manley had. But it just looked to me that it was different last Sunday, that he was trying something different, and certainly wasn't very effective, at least back on Sunday. Chapman throws hard. Good rise ball, good drop. And the way this Hill United Chiefs team is hitting the ball right now, he's going to need everything in his arsenal just to shut this lineup down. And comes in with a strike, the opener to Tony Gonzalez. Home run on a walk. And fouls this one straight back. 0-2 on Tony Gonzalez. Lifted up in the air, down the right side, near the fence. Jonathan Lynch does a good job to get that. Here's the throw, the plate, And they're going to call obstruction. Here's one, here's two. The throw got away from Ryan Bull, and they were going to call obstruction as it looked like he set up camp right on top of the line. But both runs come around to score. Lynch made a great play to go get that ball right over near the fence and made a decent throw to the plate. Not great, but two runs come across regardless. And Hill United break this one open now 7-2. Often you get two RBIs on a sac fly, but Tony Gonzalez does it here. So you can close the book now on Wemamata. 7 runs. Not all of them earned, and that is the big difference right now, is a couple of these unearned runs here this inning. So increasingly, but certainly not a certainty, it's looking like a rematch of the New York Gremlins and the Hill United Chiefs in the ISC Championship game. That will come up to follow this one by about 15-20 minutes probably. It was scheduled to start 5 minutes ago, but we're a little behind due to the ISC Legends Championship. Swing and a miss there by Colin Walsh. There was a extra innings game in the ISC Legends semifinal. That pushed back the final. Vancouver, Washington, Columbia River Brewers, winners of the ISC Legends Championship. They're first. They were in the championship game back in 2019, but lost to Toronto Dieppe Ridge. They got a measure of revenge today as they came from behind, down 8-5 in the bottom of the 8th inning, scored 4 runs to knock off Toronto, and then beat Ashland, Ohio Battery. Little line shot right in the glove of Sanchez to the Chiefs extend the lead 7-2. Looking good for Hill United right now. Riley Macchia will lead things off for the Hallman Twins. Top of the 6th inning. A lot of work to do for the Hallman Twins now to try and get back into this one. Not insurmountable, but certainly a large task that they've set for themselves. Macchia looks at a called strike. 1-1. This one misses upstairs. Change up, sitting on it, gets past Ryan Boland, and aboard Riley Macchia with a leadoff single. Haven't seen too many ill effects of Ryan Boland getting hit on the hand back in the first. He's made a couple of really good plays and some good strong throws, and it hit him on the throwing hand, so seems to be all right. Boland the elder, older brother Ryan, at the plate for the Twins, and a couple of Ks tonight. Seems like maybe pressing a bit. Pat Burns throwing again down in the bullpen for Hill United. Jeff Ellsworth, John Hill, the coaching staff for Hill United. You got to win the first one to get to the second one. They've been pitching by committee in any event. Line shot, Jason Hill, and thought better of trying to make a throw to first, and that's often the best play. If you make a wild throw over to first, you end up giving Riley Macchia an extra base. He was diving back as the ball was already into the glove of Hill. Mariano Montero. Hit a hot shot to Ryan Boland, his first trip, and then flied out to left in his second. Called strike. Montero, 1 ball, 2 strikes. McCullough. And he misses upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 down in the inning. Riley Macchia. A leadoff single aboard at first, and Bruno Matroni is going to want to have something to say. Called strike 3. Montero reluctantly leaving the home plate area. Ernesto Sanchez, a double his last trip. And there's the changeup. Sanchez out on the front foot. That misses down and in. Two down for the Twins. And swing and a miss there. Dialing in the changeup, Devin McCullough going back to that pitch. You double that one up and come back with it one more time. Nope, come with the hard stuff and miss up and away. Swing and a miss. Tied him up with the inside rise ball. Devin McCullough has shut the door firmly. Hallman Twins will be down to their final 3 outs in the ISC World Tournament, but there's some at-bats to be had by the Hill United Chiefs in between. Stay with it on the ISC Network. Daniel Chapman for the Hallman Twins needs to play kitty bar the door and keep the Hill United Chiefs at bay. Gives his team a chance in the top of the 7th coming up. Can't afford any more runs. Brett Larson. A line shot out and a walk. That pitch misses upstairs to the screen. Larson has done well since getting inserted into the lineup. He's hit the ball hard just about every time up. And that pitch misses downstairs. So 2-1. Larson, normally a member of the Irma Tigers. And, of course, with the land border closed, there's a called strike. With the land border closed, many of the Canadian teams who typically drive to the World Tournament, it's expensive to fly. They were unable to make the trip. And going around there, Larson will go down on strikes. And really, that's the reason why, the biggest reason why we're down to just the 22 teams here at the ISC World Tournament this week. Normally, there would have been at least another dozen or so from Ontario and 3, 4, 5 Western Canadian teams that would have made the trip. Change-up from Daniel Chapman. Shane Boland. Hit by a pitch and a couple of fly balls. That one up near the mascot zone. Took something off that one, and Bolin way out in front. Shane's going to have some challengers for the RBI lead after this game. Tony Gonzalez with a couple of RBIs. Bruno Matroni, depending on how they rule on Steve Mullally, there may be or may not be, we'll see, an RBI in his line tonight as well. Swing and a miss. Down goes Shane Boland. Nico Carrillo. A single, a double tonight. And Nico making a bid to get onto an all-world team. Big swing and a miss there. Just a reminder, coming up at the conclusion of this game after about 15 minutes, and a little line shot and picked off by Ernesto Sanchez. So Carrillo down chat has that 1-2-3 inning. And for the Hallman Twins, it's going to be last call. Got to get a bunch of guys on, got to get them over, got to get them in. A whole bunch of them. They're trailing by top of the seventh coming up. Devin McCullough will try to complete this one for the Hill United Chiefs. He has looked by far his best of the week tonight, and it's a good time for it. Coming on in with 2 outs in the third. Big swing and a miss there. McCullough briefly surrendered the lead, but has been lights out since Hill United went back out in front. Mosmo, hard hit. That's going to split the gap to the fence. He'll dig for 2 and stop there. Gonzalo Mosmu, 2 for 3 on the night. A single and a double. They say the last 3 outs are often the hardest to get. The Twins showing that they're going to go down fighting. Big swing and a miss there by Jonathan Lynch. That pitches, misses up top. McCullough certainly with some additional snap on the ball as well. And a change up there from McCullough, the good one. This is the Devin McCullough that we saw through 2017 when he took the Bombers team to the ISC championship game. Very strong form, threw a lot of strikes, worked ahead of batters. That's the guy that we've seen tonight. Just misses downstairs. 2-2. Time at the plate. And swing and a miss. Lynch chases way upstairs, out of the zone for strike 3. Big rise ball by Devin McCullough. Too much to lay off. Top of the shop for Teo Migliavaca. Goes around for strike 1. Gonzalo Masmu in your frame there at second base. And the change-up, swing and a miss. McCullough so dialed in with that pitch right now. Just dying as it gets to the plate. That one misses upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Migliavaca yet to reach base tonight. And McCullough and Matroni can't get on the same page. Swing and a miss. Down goes Teo Migliavaca. And the Twins down to their last out. Schiller 1 for 2 with a walk and a double. This one misses downstairs. Momentarily skips away from Matroni, but not far enough. And had a notion to go after that drop ball, but no. McCullough at the set. And this This one skips in from McCullough away from Matroni, and Mosmu will move up 60 feet to third. 3-0 to Schiller. Thomas Anoka awaits on deck. Town of Eldridge coming out to see this losers bracket final, and then the championship game coming up as the outfield is ringed with cars and trucks backed up to the fence. There are lots of families here with blankets out, with picnic tables. So runners on the corners. The walk to Schiller. Thomas Anoka will get a chance to bring home a run, possibly. This one misses downstairs, and as well as McCullough had pitched up until this inning, suddenly finding it a challenge to find the strike zone. So McCullough back to the board, and Noka back in the box. There's a strike. One and one. And hard hit off of Hill, or off of McCullough. That hit McCullough and ricocheted all the way over to the Hill dugout. I thought it went off of Jason Hill because he was the closest guy to it. But right off of Devin McCullough. Oof. Oh, those hurt. And he is in some serious pain. Just the sting of that, as Thomas Anoka got absolutely all of that and just drilled that. It looks like it might have been off the shin of McCullough. Ricocheted all the way to the Hill dugout. It's an RBI single for Thomas Anoka, but that's really secondary at the moment, as we want to hope that Devin McCullough can recover from that. Pat Burns immediately into the game, and the Hill United squad is going to have to look after the health there of Devin McCullough and hope that that is not as serious as it looked. He was able to walk on it, so that is a good sign. But if they are advancing, Hill United is going to need Devin McCullough and help and contribution from him. Burns, a hard-throwing right-hander from Saskatoon. We talked about him the other night. Came down with the Chiefs for the two tournaments that they played, but then had to make a sojourn back to Saskatoon and got back here on Sunday evening. he'll be asked to close the door with 2 out in the 7th for the Twins. Riley Macchia will be the batter to face Pat Burns. Now, he's been up warming and then had been back in the dugout. Because this is an injury replacement, he gets as much time as he needs to get warm. If you're wondering why he's getting more than the usual number of warm-up pitches, that's why. It's an injury replacement. So as I said, stay tuned for the ISC Championship game coming up on the ISC Network. We're about 35 minutes past that scheduled start time right now. Depending how this one turns out, probably be in the neighborhood of an hour late, give or take. Could be more, could be less. Approximately 15 minutes from the completion of this one is when that ISC Championship game should get underway. So back to set. Patrick Burns, Riley Macchia, and Burns in with a first pitch strike. That pitch misses down and in, so a ball and a strike. Macchia reached on a fielder's choice, walked and singled, so he's been on base all 3 times. Big cut there, but comes up empty. And the Twins now down to their final strike. The Chiefs a strike away from advancing to the ISC Championship game for the first time since 2017. This one is lifted up, deep center. Carrillo at the fence will fall into it. Makes the catch. Call it a ball game. Call it a ball game. Call it a rematch coming up. Nico Carrillo at the fence, falls back into it. The Hill United Chiefs will win this one 7-3, and they will take on the New York Gremlins in the ISC Championship game. Stay with us on the ISC Network. Come back to us in about 15-20 minutes. It'll be New York Gremlins and Hill United Chiefs, the rematch.